All right. Welcome to Let's Stay Together Talk. I'm your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
You know, I said I was going to get rid of those titles, Reverend and author, because, you guys have like author and Tracy just has Tracy, but that powerful name of Reverend, I'm an exalted person, and you guys got this low title of author and just Tracy. So I figured maybe I want to be human like you all and just be Rick instead of
human.
Reverend Rick. I want to be like, I'm trying to be humble.
Okay. Okay, Minister McCain, you be humble.
Yeah. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very well today. I'm praying that Tracy get here safely.
Yeah.
And I'm loving our guests today because we got a dynamic show, and I can't wait to get into it.
Okay, before you get into it, the most important thing is, did you miss me? You haven't seen me in a while.
I missed you.
Did you miss me?
Yeah, until we ride in and you turn to the evil Tasmanian devil because of Chicago traffic.
Yeah, well, that traffic can do it to you. Lollapalooza, Cubs hopefully beat the White Sox today. That'd be great.
White Sox beat the Cubs today.
Well, now you know you ain't going to be on the air anymore. But let's go into the show.
Hello.
Thank you, Dion.
Hello, family. I have to thank you for joining McCain Train again this week. We have a great show coming up because to see God's glory, we must share our backstories. And with that being said, tonight's topic is cheating. Not cheaters on TV, but cheating. Should I stay or go in a relationship and in a marriage? And we have a dynamic duo team here. Maybe this will be a crossover show, baby. Who knows? We got from the next stop to making marriage work with two great counselors on panel tonight from Urban Balance, MA, LCPC, Miss Leslie Holley, the beautiful Leslie Holley.
Glad to be here.
Oh, and we're glad to have you here, too. And we also have, babe, no disrespect to you, but the handsome Dan Blair, licensed marriage counselor and family therapist at Blair Counseling and Mediation. Wow.
He could be handsome for 5 seconds.
He's with the Making Marriage Work segment, but they both here, so we're going to see how this going to work on out, right?
Yeah, we're going to find out. And it's going to be a great show. We're talking about cheating, and it's something that a lot of times you don't hear about at church. You're not going to hear about this. People want to talk about that, but it happens everywhere, even in the church. People are cheating. And we got to find out, why is this something that people are constantly doing when they're supposed to be in like a covenant relationship, but a lot of times people are not. So I've got my girl here, Leslie, and I'm glad I got Dan here. I told Dan I usually don't have a lot of men here, so I got some testosterone in the building.
Whatever.
Thank you for being here because they're always jumping on me most of the times. And so I'm going to go to Leslie. Cheating. What? I mean, are we still talking about something as symptomatic as cheating on each other? I mean, do people still do this? I mean, really?
Absolutely. And, there's so many different reasons why people cheat. There's not just one reason why. And I think as we talk about a lot, relationships are very complicated, take a lot of work. And, with that being said, there's a lot of temptation out there. There's a lot of people that want to be in a relationship. They see you in a relationship. All of a sudden now they want to be in a relationship with you. And, sometimes marriage can be really difficult, or relationships, and there's people waiting in the wings. And so it happens.
Yeah, I mean,
reality.
But wait a minute. Marriage is hard. It's very difficult. But so is cheating. You know how hard it is to cheat? I mean, what you looking at me for? I said,
Because I'm like, how you know how hard it is to cheat?
I was a teen once before and talked to more than.
You're doing a relationship thing.
Yeah, well, that's what she's here for. I don't cheat. I got to answer to Jesus, so we don't have to worry about that. But as I digress, and she just broke me up like she's going to divorce court. Cheating is hard. So, I mean, it's not like it's an easy thing to do. Why do people seem to want to go through the process of constantly cheating all the time?
Well, I would say, depending on the circumstances, it may be an easy thing to do. I mean, I think in the world we live in, with social media and, the internet, I mean, you have a lot of access to anything that you'd like to do, anything you want to get involved in. And there's always somebody signed up and ready to participate in that. So
What is that Ashley Madison thing they had out there, Dan? Something like that, where they ask people if you're looking for an affair. I mean, have we gotten to the point, we got Dan, we're going to do a crossover here with both of them talking. Dan, have we gotten to the point now where cheating is so, like the thing to do that we even have websites that are saying, yeah, cheat. I've got somebody that will cheat with you.
You don't need Ashley Madison. You can use Facebook, Twitter, any of these other sites that provide confidential communication.
Yeah. And it's amazing how we've gotten to the point now where it's okay. You're like, I'm sorry, baby. That's all it always seemed like you had to say. I look at TV all the time, and one of the shows I love to watch, and forgive me, I'm taking my preacher head off right now. I love watching cheaters. I love watching cheaters because I love seeing people get caught as they're cheating and the things that they come up with. But we get to the point now where it's acceptable. Leslie, I don't understand that. I know Brenda's going to say something for a second because Brenda don't cheat, so she don't really have a lot to say.
And,
she bet
but
not
before
cheat.
you go to Leslie, I do want to say this. What gets me now, I would be too afraid to cheat. Because, like I said, social media is so out there. I didn't heard of someone getting busted. And they thought they were so discreet about it. The picture was posted on Facebook. And so whoever did that to him, they was looking out for their girl. She blasted him on Facebook. This is not your wife. Where are you coming from? I'm single. I could be where I'm at with the person I'm with. And I'm like, it's no way. Cameras everywhere. And your phone just takes everything, so y'all better stop all that cheating.
I think that's a good point, though. With Facebook, there are some positives with it. But if you think about, back in the day, you graduated high school and college, you went on with your life, and you didn't really reconnect with people. Now, with Facebook, you can reconnect with old loves and old relationships. Facebook ends a lot of relationships.
They end and begin a lot of relationships. You're like,
Just in business, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
As Dan was saying, it keeps on. But Dan, we're talking about people with cheating and stuff like that. What is the mentality that goes on with? We're talking relationships now. We're going to talk marriage a little bit later. But what is the mentality of an individual who thinks about cheating? I mean, it almost seems like they don't care about the individual that they're cheating on. It's just the sensation of the cheat.
It starts with a breakdown of the marriage or the relationship in which there's a term called negative sentiment override in which you start thinking negatively about your partner. You start comparing your partner to others. And your partner suffers by comparison. That goes over and over and over, and then it leads to some secrets.
But the partner don't even know they're being scrutinized like that, do they?
No, often no.
Well,
it's
hopefully
unspoken.
not. If they do know, it's called lifetime. But right. I mean, I'm come back to Leslie. Dan, we're talking about that, but I understand that they're measuring that up. But do you ever get to a point? I want you to talk from a man's point of view, and I'm going to call to Leslie. Do we ever get to a point as a man that we when we're sizing up the woman, do we ever think that we deserve something better? Is that what it is?
It's a repeated comparing your partner to somebody else, and your partner is always on the losing end of that comparison. It's over and over. It's a mindset. It's what goes in your mind. What's practiced in your mind comes out.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Leslie, I mean, as far as a woman's point, now I heard that with women, y'all can be dangerous in cheating. So that women that passion or that emotion, that void of emotion when they've left one relationship another, it's not just some kind of a simple thrill. It's even more. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I think you're correct in that, but I also want to point out that every situation is different, right? Some people have addictions to things. Some people have mental illness or they're suffering from depression. Some people are suffering from, maybe family dysfunction that they've seen, so it's really hard for them to really understand what a healthy relationship looks like. So you have a lot of different dynamics playing out that can cause that. But I think, yes, women, definitely, we're emotional creatures. We a lot of times I think what can happen is you feel unnoticed. You feel like you're unappreciated, and you want to feel that again. You want to feel wanted. I've heard that many times. Women saying, "I did it because I wanted to feel wanted."
Okay, let me stop you for a second, baby. I love you. I want you. So just letting you know that. Y'all heard that on the radio.
Yes.
So if she do anything, I got Leslie and Dan that you can go to for some counseling.
Okay.
So, you guys,
That I could go to for some counseling. But I do want to say this with that, Leslie, that with women and from articles that I did read, it's easy for a woman to get caught up. Men just do it. But with us, like you said, it's the conversation and you feeling pretty by somebody else. Like if it's a couple married and he don't address the positiveness in you and he always saying the negative, but that person at work notice you got on a new shade of lipstick, a new hairstyle or something. So that's when women go, wait a minute, so he noticing this and my man at home not noticing. One of the signs are all those times she getting those new clothes. Well, we're going to talk about the signs.
Yeah.
Well, talk about
I'm going to get into the devil's advocate thing. I think that's a cop-out. I don't care if you're not being noticed. You made a commitment to be in a relationship.
Everybody not you, boo.
I understand that, but that I'm talking about for me. I'm talking about with the big halo side now, the reverend. I just feel that, if you're not being noticed, then you need to do something to be noticed. Why would you, because you're not noticed and you're being hurt, decide to hurt someone else? Dad, I don't understand that. Why do we, as people, we're hurt that someone's not noticing us, so we hurt someone else?
Yeah, it starts with it turns into resentment. You give up on your partner.
Yeah.
Then you start looking elsewhere.
Okay, so we've got Tracy Howard
Hey, Tracy,
that came in here. I don't know if you got something to say. No, grab my mic this time. Keep what to say.
I'm sorry. First of all, I apologize for being late, but yeah, yes, I am. But I just lost my train of thought. I'm so upset. But it's not always that you go out to intentionally hurt somebody when you don't get that attention that you feel you need. Sometimes it happens and it's not purposely. It's just that you get caught up in the moment.
Preach, sister.
Okay, Dan, you can talk about that a little. I'm going to Leslie, then I'm going to give you the preacher perspective. But Dan, what do you got to say?
Usually there's a stage is already set. There's a breakdown in this relationship before you start looking elsewhere.
Yeah, and
yeah, when you were saying earlier, you make this commitment, that very well may be true, but everyone's resiliency, everyone's ability to cope with difficulties in their marriage, self-esteem issues, so on and so forth, can create this. So it's just not black and white. There's a lot of shades of gray here that can create this for someone.
Yeah, but I guess I'm gonna get on my white horse here, like giddy up. My philosophy always was, I don't want to be hurt, therefore I'm not going to hurt someone. I always looked at it at the point, and almost in a selfish manner of saying, I don't want to be hurt. And I think everybody that hurts somebody in a relationship doesn't want to be hurt. But they never look at the mirror and say, if I don't want to be hurt, the person I'm looking at doesn't want to be hurt either. Therefore, if it's not going to feel right for me, I should be concerned about how it feels for them. And a lot of times, Dan, we don't feel that way. We don't care that we're actually hurting the other person.
I think you do care, but if you can put that care into a drawer and shut that drawer, then you can justify a lot of things.
Yeah, that's good. Leslie, what you got to say? That is good.
I would agree exactly with what he said.
But how about this different scenario? Not that a woman, because you're looking so strange that a woman
I'm not
would
looking
do
at
it
women. Men cheat
to
more
her.
than women.
Right. But see, for that woman being neglected at home or in her relationship with the guy, 9 times out of 10, everybody not you and Dan, that man might be doing things anyway. And she not thinking, I'm going to do this to get back at him. But we all know as women, men could do it 50 million times and won't think nothing of it. It's like, okay, you leave, you stay. But let his woman do it one time. Y'all lose your mind and be ready to divorce you, break up the relationship, end all held and rain down. I mean, it's really?
there's a written rule that women can only do things once. Men have a chance to do it multiple times. But, that's just a written rule,
That's what I don't
You get
understand and
one
never
time,
like.
one time, but and it's unfortunate. But as I joke around that, in the man's mind, he can do as many times as he wants to
and justify
but the woman,
himself.
like Dan says, the drawer is usually being closed by. That's probably the only time we put something in the drawer.
But you know what? I do want to say,
You're right.
and I do want to encourage couples out there where the woman has cheated and the man has stayed. I have seen it a lot. I think that we just don't talk about it. There are men that get cheated on and they stay in the relationship and they want to work on the relationship.
that's true.
But we don't. No, they don't talk about it. No one's talking about that. And so I think it feeds into the idea that this man has this inflated ego, and it's harder for him to move through because he feels like, well, I'm the only one. I don't know anyone else who stayed. When in reality, I've seen numerous couples
Most
where
couples, I'd say.
yes, where the
Actually stay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's very important that you said that they want to stay. So, Leslie, talk a little bit about what happens when you're cheated on and you want to go through that process. Help a person right now that they've been cheated on and they want to try to reconcile that relationship. Give them a couple of steps of what they should do.
Absolutely. They need support. So that could look like getting counseling, or that could look like you going to your church. That could look like, however, wherever you find that source of support to say, you know what, we really need to talk about why this occurred. You really need to hear your partner out as to maybe what your partner was feeling, what resentments they have, what resentments you have, and how you can work through those. And also, you have to build that trust back up, and you have to earn it. And this is something I think that's so difficult for couples to understand. Whoever cheats, it is kind of like you're in the doghouse for a while. Your partner should have access to your phone. Your partner should have access to your Facebook. Your partner, you should be checking in with your partner so they know where you are for an amount of time, because you have to earn back that trust and make your partner feel safe again.
That's good. Hey, Dan, what you got to add to that?
Yeah, I think there's 5 important tasks that every couple's got to go through. The first one is the complete honesty, not brutal honesty. Too many details causes obsessions.
Yes.
But complete honesty. And then secondly, an ability to put aside your own point of view and look at the pain of the other person. Enter that pain without beating yourself up. It's called empathy. If you can't see the impact of what you did to the other person, you have no basis for remorse.
That's good.
Then step 3, the remorse. Well, who I am now hates who I've been. I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to make some character changes so that this doesn't happen again. And then the test of time, along with that, the other partner's got to have an ability, like you were saying, to protect themselves.
I want to ask this. We know why women cheat, more emotional, and they could have an affair without having a physical affair and cheat. Why do men cheat? All the ladies out there want
Why?
to know that.
I mean, if he could give that answer, he on the wrong show. He needs to have the Dan Blair show.
Yeah,
Why?
That sounds like a show, don't it? The Dan
ladies
Blair
and gentlemen,
show.
the Dan Blair show. No. Dan, can you? I mean, try.
Give one
Why do
reason.
men cheat?
Because they can.
I hate to say it, but a lot of the times it's for sexual validation. It's
Right.
for sexual reasons, for their own validation, their own ego. I hate to say it's embarrassing, but it's true.
But
Wow.
it is true.
And it reminded me so much on Family Feud. You remember that time last week when Steve Harvey them asked a question about men, how do they rate themselves with the sexual thing? And everyone was like, oh, about 85%.
Yeah.
And it was like, number one answer is 100%. And ask a woman, they're like, please. No.
Well, you got to lie to yourselves because when the woman says it's a curve.
Okay.
You know?
It's like,
so you asked Dan that, Leslie, why do women cheat?
she said it.
Did she say it? Say it again.
Emotion.
Emotional
Uh-huh.
emotional needs, wanting to feel wanted is a huge part of that as well.
But don't men want to be wanted too when they do the sexual thing?
But y'all so arrogant. I'm 100% all man can make you feel sexually satisfied.
I mean, but let me, now I got to move the halo again. What man is going to tell you, no, I'm like 85? I mean, you're not going to tell anybody that. It's like, okay, so if the woman hears that you're 85, she's already dropping you down from that point. So you might as well put yourself at 100%. So when she drops you to 80, you feel good because you're nothing but a 60.
But see, the difference is you guys talk about it. Women do it. We don't have to say, I'm 100%, baby. My actions speak louder than my words. If it got to that point, it's like, well, she is 100%. You'll be singing our praises. You guys just put it out there. I'm 100%. Oh, what?
Well,
lies? Like 100% of what?
Cheating is all about lies. That's what it is. But I want to go back to what you all were saying before. I always established this in my relationship with Brenda early, and she didn't understand it at first. I would always let Brenda know exactly where I was, and I still do that now after 22 years of marriage. Everywhere I go, I didn't do it because I was concerned about cheating on her. I wanted to set a foundation of trust. And a lot of times with a lot of men, they feel you don't have to know where I am. And Brenda was like, why you got to know where I'm at? I mean, she was the opposite way.
Yeah, we were totally opposite.
I'm like, I'm trying to, and it wasn't because I'm some kind of a goody two-shoes, because I'm not. This is all about Jesus Christ putting that pattern into me because we're going to do marriage ministry. I didn't know that back then, but I was always that way, showing her that she could trust me. And a lot of times, Dan, men don't want to do that because it seems like it's taking away their manhood. You don't need to know where I'm at. Why do we not, if we say we love that woman, why do we not want to validate that trust?
I love what you had to say, Rick, about you got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
No reason to be defensive. You can look through anything you want. Men, though, take that as, wait a minute, am I being controlled here?
Yeah.
Am I being told what to do? And so there's a natural resistance to that.
Yeah, it is a natural resistance because you don't want.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
Brenda
is
can look through my phone. There's nothing secret that I have that she can't look at because I don't want to hide anything from her. But you're right. It's like a man doesn't want that. It almost seems like you're evading their privacy. But Leslie, women will do that sometimes too. Why are they? They're the ones that are usually open books that want. But why would they be the ones not wanting their man to see the information on their phones or their Facebook or information?
Yeah, I think we're all adults, and it's a humbling experience, right? When someone wants access to your information, and you feel like, wait a minute, I'm an adult here. Why should I have to do these things? I'm not a child. So I think it's just a humbling experience. People's pride gets in the way.
Yeah.
But again, you have to have that empathy and thinking about, wait a minute, if this had happened to me, I would want the same thing.
Yeah. The thing about we're talking to Next Stop, and thank you very much for listening to our show. We're talking with Dan Blair and Leslie Holley about cheating. We're talking about relationships. Next hour, we're going to be talking about marriage and cheating. So we're talking about that. And thank you all very much for being on the show with us, talking about that together. I just want to throw out one more thing about cheating. What do you say to the person that they're in a relationship, that person has cheated, and they have made the decision that they're just going to leave? You know what we didn't talk about? How the cheater feels when he has got caught or she's got caught. How does that individual feel now that he knows that person's about to leave them? Leslie?
Well, I'm sure they feel devastated, terrible. Or they find ways to justify what they've done so that they don't have to sit with the guilt and go through that process.
Or they're probably happy and say, oh, it worked. I'm out of this failed relationship.
Yeah, well, you can just walk out then. But Dan, what you got to say about that?
Cheaters are often ambivalent about their own relationship. And so they're often in a bind then. Now I got to choose. How do I compare this? My wife or my girlfriend of 10 years compared to this person I've known for a few weeks? You can't compare apples and oranges.
Yeah.
And that's the exact dilemma that they're facing.
Yeah, because, we talk about the person's been cheated on, but we're really not discussing the psyche or the thought process of the cheater. Why do we do that? And then when we get caught, we feel a temporary guilt. But it's not because we did something wrong. It's because we got caught. And that's what I love about cheaters. You see that when they get caught, they're embarrassed.
And
It's not that they're feeling wrong about what they've done, because we got to admit, people when they cheat, they do have a sense of they're doing something wrong. We can't just say they're devoid of knowing they know that's wrong, and in some cases the sensation is doing the wrong. But we have to be able to give some kind of information to the cheater to let them know, one, this is something you need to do to stop. We're going to go to a commercial break in a few minutes, but I'm going to ask y'all to give me like a 30 seconds. Tell the cheater right now what they need to do to stop.
You have to be honest with yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, be honest with what issues you have, why you're cheating, why you're doing this behavior, and really want to take an active step to stop and get some help.
Dan?
There's two kinds of remorse. The first kind of remorse, I got caught. The second kind of remorse, I don't like who I am, and I got to change. I've got to change for myself, whether or not we get back together.
Yeah, amen. That's good. Hey, this has been great. Brenda, you've learned a lot about not cheating, haven't you? Hey, we thank you all very much for listening to the show. Hey, we're about to go to commercial breaks. Baby, what we got coming up next?
Oh, coming up next, we have POV, Point of View by Donna Terrell, and a commercial by the new Pureflix.
The new Pureflix. Hi, this is Reverend Rick along with Brenda and Tracy and Dion. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.